Gunderson. And now you know. Welcome to Just Asking for a Friend. The show, we go out into the collecting community and we meet content creators, sculptors, people throughout the industry, all walks of life throughout the collecting community. And today, we're going to talk to another one of my road dogs. Me and this man talk football all the time. And especially because our two teams, I'm a Jets fan, he's a Seahawks fan, share a relationship. And I sat in amazement this season and watched Geno Smith, who used to throw pick sixes on the regular every week. You can set your watch to it for us. Out here going to the Pro Bowl I was just sat in amazement. And he was eating it up because, of course, they took them to the playoffs. We never sniffed the playoffs with this man. But he's also a big time Batman aficionado and, strange enough, combining the two, a big time horror fan. He is Gotham Cenobites. I'm talking about Mr. Terry K. Walker. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Man, look, I gotta tell you, some of these pictures you post, because you do refrigeration and heating and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I do.
Some of these pictures you post of these people, like units, and you go in here and be like, man, these people, they haven't changed their filter. You pull these filters and stuff out, and then one where you like leaning into that, like your feet sticking up in the air. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, a customer took that picture of me and was like, hey, while you were down there, I got a picture of you. You want it? I'm like, yeah, I would like to see that.
Like, what before we just, what is the craziest thing you have seen out there working on somebody's refrigerator unit?
Probably a squirrel, like in the heat strips.
Stop. Yeah. Was it dead or was it still alive?
No, it was dead. Because the heat strips, even though you're not active, there's still a current going through it. So it had chewed through the ductwork and then slid down into the heat strip, and it was dead. And it smelled very bad.
Ooh, and they ain't paying no mind. It was just that. Okay.
No, I've been called out a few times for a smell.
Really?
Found something like that.
Man, I mean, we got to throw some of these pictures because some of this stuff is. I mean, it's funny, man. Like I actually wait for this stuff, But I like to start out with telling people like where you grew up and everything, and give them a little, background. And then you get into like how you got into pop culture and everything, and then we'll get into collecting later on.
Sure. Well, I'm a Navy brat, so I was born in Washington. I grew up most of my life in Florida. I did move around a lot. I ended up here a few times. But yeah, so just moving around a lot with being a Navy brat. I mean, I grew up all over the place. But, and then I guess the only constant in my life, because, moving around so much, I'm never really able to keep friends, was, TV, movies, all that stuff, being a kid.
What part of Florida did you settle down in?
It's Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
I live a few miles from a naval air station still. So
okay. So you still like you're not like you never been military yourself. You just
no.
Navy. Okay.
Just a brat. My sister's daughter, my niece, she's in the service right now, and she's in San Diego.
Okay, so she's in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. My uncle, he was in the Navy, and he's the one that actually taught me how to cook. And he was in the Korean War, and he was on a destroyer, I believe it was. Not an aircraft, yeah, a destroyer.
What's weird is I know you're a Star Wars fan, but I know you've seen Star Trek, the movies.
Yeah, some of them.
Like well, they're supposedly in the fourth movie, and they're on the Enterprise. Mm-hmm. It was my dad's ship. It was the USS Ranger, and he was actually they used the real ship's Marines for that whole scene. And my dad,
the one with the whales. That's the one you talking about.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah. I actually like. A lot of people don't like that movie. That's like my favorite one. Was that one?
It's up there. With those first six, I think.
Yeah, that one and the first one. For some reason, Wrath of Khan don't do nothing for me. Everybody loves that one, but the first one and that one.
I like the Cumberbatch Khan a lot more.
Yeah, I do too. That one I like way better than Ricardo Montalban one. So like, how did you discover? What was your first entrance into like pop culture?
You mean as far as collecting, or you mean like TV
Just
shows?
in general, like how you got interested in, say DC or
I think the first DC thing I saw was like, I can't remember a whole lot of it, and I'm gonna try to watch it with my son. Was just the animated cartoon show.
Yeah.
And the first movie I saw in theaters was probably Batman Forever.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Forever. That was the one
With Two-Face
with
and the
Two-Face.
Riddler.
Okay, yeah. I remember that one. And then that had so Batman and Robin.
That's the fourth one.
That was the fourth one. Who was the villain in that? Because I can't remember.
Freeze, Ivy, and
that's the one I'm thinking about.
A really shitty Bane.
Yeah. Okay, so Uma Thurman was in that one you talking about. She was Poison Ivy.
She was in Batman and Robin.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Batman Forever was Two-Face and Riddler.
Huh. Okay, I don't know why I thought that was the same one. But okay, I just get them all confused.
They look the same except for Clooney and Kilmer.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's all those all a blur for me. So the animated series that I still maintain that is to me the best iteration of Gotham City in my opinion. Even to me that because you think about it, a lot of people don't know that's where Harley Quinn came from. She didn't come from the comic book, she came from the series, so like Bruce Timm dreamt her up, and so it contributed a lot to the Batman culture, as far as
well, my son's obsessed with Spider-Man right now, but I'm gonna try to get him to watch the animated series with me. I started the first few episodes and it was too violent for the wife. So
for the animated series.
Yeah, for her. Yeah.
So how did he get on Spider-Man with the MCU movies or
no? My wife's brother bought him like a bubble machine that had Spider-Man on it, and then just seeing on Disney Plus, one of his favorite shows is that really, to me, a really bad cartoon that Spidey and Friends.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah, has Miles, Gwen, and Peter. They're all in the same universe somehow.
Yeah, I can see where that could be. But I think especially the way they depict Batman now. Like, how is your son? He's young. He got to be young.
He's 4.
Okay, yeah. So at that age, I can see him like a Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, as you get old, because Spider-Man was my guy for a long time, and then I just outgrew him. So I can see. You never know, especially hanging around all the Batman stuff you got. It's like inevitable that he at least takes an interest. You know what I mean? So where did the horror stuff come in? Like, were you always a horror fan, or?
Well, I have an older sister, okay. And like I said, being a Navy brat, she and I were probably each other's best friends for a while, and she exposed me to a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have seen at a young age. Via Candyman, Hellraiser. You've seen even the Total Recall with Arnold. That movie, I had nightmares whenever they're in Mars, and the Mars scene where their eyes are popping out of their heads.
Oh yeah, that was pretty rough. Yeah, that was like the opening scene. I was like, "What in God's name is going on?" Yeah, that was rough. That part, even some of the mutants. Like the guy that was the taxi driver, he took his arm out and he's got like this, and I'm like, dude, what's that? So yeah, I get it. So I take it, being Cenobites that Hellraiser is your favorite.
Well, it would probably surprise a lot of people, but there's a lot of horror I don't like. It's really Candyman, Hellraiser, and probably the new version of It. That's
really, because everybody's swearing down. That's the end all be all. I ain't seen it, but
the new It movies.
Yeah, everybody's swearing down with Skarsgård. Those, they swear down that that's
Yeah, I love both of those movies. I've tried to watch the original. I don't mean to disrespect it, but it's I don't know.
I think that was a show.
It was like a miniseries.
Yeah, miniseries, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been the biggest horror fan. Like I got a few that I like. Like I like the Lost Boys. We call it Fright Night. That's my favorite horror movie. You know, because you got to be a little comedy involved with me. You know, not much, but just enough to keep me interested. You know, and I really enjoyed the remake of Halloween, the first one, not the second one, like
The
the Rob
zombie
Zombie
one?
one. Oh my god, that was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's probably the only Halloween I'll watch.
Yeah, I mean, I never understood people's, like, okay, what's the big deal about Michael Myers? You know, he breaks
No,
out of, it's like he keeps coming back to this town. You know, I'm
yeah,
like,
it's him for me. I mean, him and Jason. I mean, they're both kind of a recycled character,
yeah,
almost. Yeah,
yeah. The remake, that was a pretty good remake too. I thought that wasn't bad. The Elm Street kind of sucked.
yeah.
But the Jason one, like the intro to that Jason one, I thought that one, like when he took those people and put them in that the sleeping bag, he hung them over the cat. I was like, whoa, and some dude he took and beat somebody up. It was that was rough. That was a good one too. I ain't never been. I can't, for some reason I can't deal with Leatherface because it's just I just want to. Just stab if you don't be slicing up, I don't know, I can't do it. But we call it Ghostface is my dude because I like that. I like Scream because Scream always keeps you guessing. Like you said, the other ones are like recycled and this is Jason and he's but with that, you got all the suspects and you the whole time you trying to figure out who it is, so I always thought Scream was
Yeah, I mean, the wife really likes Scream movies, but she hasn't seen this newest one.
The new one was good.
That's what I hear.
The new one, he was the first hard. I mean, I ain't giving away much, but it was one scene where like he goes, again, it's in New York City, so he goes into this bodega, and the guy behind us, he pulls out the shotgun, and somehow Leatherface, Ghostface get the shotgun, and he did like your man Lonzo in Training Day, like how when you get the shotgun, you got that lean, you do like he had the lean. I was like, oh Slim, you know what I mean? And I was like, no, this man didn't pick up no gauge. So that one was good. Yeah, that's about it. I ain't big on horror movies per se, but Rodney love him to death. Yeah. So what would you say? I'm far as Hellraiser goes. So Hellraiser was better than Hellraiser 1. That's just my opinion. What do you think?
I'm going in and out. What'd you say?
Oh, I said far as let me see. Far as Hellraiser goes, I was always a bigger fan of the second one than I was the first one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the first one was good, but the second one I thought was a lot better.
The wife thinks I'm crazy, but like I do always skip the first two because I do prefer the second. I do prefer the second one, but the Doctor. I mean, that's probably my least favorite Cenobite. He just comes in and that kills all of them at the end.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
I probably would. I know people hate the third one, but the 3 and 4 are probably my favorite too. Because 3 is when he makes all them crazy Cenobites in the street,
right?
And then 4 is like the origin of the box.
Huh? That's great. Yeah, I've definitely not seen 3.
I think it's Hell on Earth, and it's when that pillar, and he is stuck in the pillar for most of the movie. Then he comes out at the end and like kills a whole nightclub full of people.
Wow, no, I didn't see that one. Yeah. So do you actually have the box prop or no?
I do. Well, I mean, the first thing I ever collected, I guess you would say, I had to have all of them, were the 7-inch Nika Hellraiser things, and it's kind of like the Marvel Legends now, where each one comes with a piece. And so the first series was building the box, and then the second one was, I think, the pillar, and then there was also the diamond shape in Hellraiser 2.
Okay.
But I do have another one I've bought, but I mean it's put together. I don't have an actual like wooden replica. I just have a few plastic ones.
Right.
I would like to get one from the new movie that just came out.
But do they have any? Do they make any, or they just?
Oh, they do. I mean, I know Paul Taylor, who played Pinhead in Judgment. I know he sells them at cons and stuff when he signs them. I think Fatal got one from him.
Oh wow! I think I saw that one. Is that the one where they showed him when he was still like some kind of army captain or something? Or I saw that one.
That's 3.
That's okay. So I did see 3.
Well, I mean, it's 2 and 3. You see him open the box and become Pinhead in 2,
right?
And then you see more of him in the whole war scene in 3. Because it's like his good side is trying to help her defeat his bad side,
right?
So, yeah.
So is that clear? I mean, I know you must have got some Pinhead statues. You know, do you just have those? I mean, I've never seen a Candyman one.
No, God, there's probably some custom ones, but supposedly, I've never heard it come out of their mouth. I didn't see the show, but I heard from Cash and I think Piggy that PCS is making a quarter scale and a third scale Candyman.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, because they've done Pumpkinhead and all these other ones. What did you think of the Jordan Peele Candyman?
I'll be honest. I mean, it's on the list to watch. It's on my Amazon list, but I mean,
right. You haven't seen it yet.
It's hard to watch stuff like that. I mean, with kids, and then when you finally get free time, it's like the furthest thing from your mind.
Yeah, I get it. Now I've heard a few people say they weren't too big of fans. I enjoyed the first one. I'm not even sure there's a part 2, but
no, there's not. And I have a horror friend who likes horror, like he likes everything, and he's told me pretty bad stuff about it.
Yeah, I've heard bad stuff about that. And when I was growing up, there was one guy. He in fact told us about Candyman. He would turn the TV. He just wanted to hear his voice, and he turned the TV all the way up. And we actually had an argument one time whose voice was deeper, his or Unicron's. And we were trying to, Orson Welles, and we were like, dude, this dude's voice is deep. It ain't as deep. He got mad, and one day we turned up. He said, "Yeah, you're right." We were like, "I know." You know what I'm saying? So argue about whose voice is deep and everything. So you kind of touched on it. Like, what was your transition into okay, first of all, was statues the only thing you ever collected, or did you ever do comic books or
No, I mean, I'll be honest, I hadn't ever read a comic until I got into these metal statues, the Dark Knight's metal. But I've been meaning. I mean, I have the Batman Volume 1 omnibus that I still need to go through. But yeah, I mean, not really comics, just probably toys and statues.
Okay, so like, what was your introduction into the statue?
The statues was probably the Sideshow Pinhead and the Hell Priestess, and then Mass Effect. I have the Garrus statue right there.
Oh yeah. Scale. But okay, so here's what I mean. Like, how did you discover it? Like, what was,
groups? I mean, and going and looking on eBay, like Facebook groups.
Right. See, that was for me because I never wanted to join Facebook, and I had just ran across. I used to watch room tours all the time, so that's how I kind of discovered them. And so what was your first piece that you bought?
Well, I mean, the first thing I ever had was those Hellraiser toys, but like first statue was that I actually got in hand was probably that Garrus by Gaming Heads.
Yeah, I didn't. I was late to the party on Mass Effect because Mass Effect 2 was. That's one of the best games I ever played. With Mass Effect 2.
If you buy the newest version, that legendary version that comes with all 3, the first one plays better. And
that was my problem because I went back because after I played 2, Rodney was like, "You got to play," because he explained to me how the decisions carry over to the next, and it was like they didn't have the Unreal Engine, and I was like, "This game sucks, dude." He was like, "Nah, I'm like, it might be good, but I can't play this shit."
Right. I mean, well, the first thing I ever played was that Coder, Knights of the Old Republic. And
Oh, okay.
I was obsessed with those two games. And then my friend told me, that same company made this game, Mass Effect. You got to play it.
Right.
If you're used to 2, going back is hard.
So wait a minute, hold. So you was in the Knights of the Old Republic. How you end up? Ain't no dark side in the facility,
No, I don't have any Star Wars at the moment.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I don't know. It's never been a property that I have to have anything from.
I get it.
But I do. Revan's probably my favorite character, probably because of that game.
Yeah, he right there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But
there you go.
If I didn't already have like 5 of these metal statues on order, I mean, it was hard. It was hard not to get the XM one. But
I still, if I get that one, I probably get this one to Rodney because he loves this piece. But that's because I do like that one better.
Well, I heard that they may be coming out with another one, Sideshow.
Sideshow gonna make a Revan.
Well, it's been teased. I forget the 2 brothers that the Mythos.
The Kuharik brothers. Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah,
I hope they make a Revan. It's been kind of hinted at.
Yeah, if it's 1/5, I probably won't get it. But if it's quarter scale, I'd think about it. So okay, so when did you transition into like 1/3 and
well, being a Hellraiser fan,
right,
and a Batman fan, when I first saw, I don't remember where I saw it. It's just through Facebook, I guess. Just seeing Batman Who Laughs, and like to me, that looks just like a Cenobite Batman.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's a combination of the two.
So at the time, I was in a different company, so I mean, it kind of seemed out of reach. But eventually, I got it in the aftermarket, and then once I got him, and I knew I kind of wanted the rest of them when they started getting announced.
Right.
That was the reason I got into 1/3.
Okay, so clearly, I mean, it's easy to see. I was going to ask you, but it's easy to see where Gotham Cenobites. You just combine both of the two things.
I mean, my wife is she's a very private person, and we're friends with a lot of family on social media, and so she never really wanted me to put any of this like on my main Facebook. So that's why I kind of started making a different persona, and that's why I put videos on YouTube just to kind of show the collection, and fun stuff with the kids has now been pretty fun. But the first name I had was Gatorhawk Collectibles. But I knew I kind of had to come up with something that was, I guess, more geared towards the collection, not just 2 teams I liked.
No, but that's it has a ring to it. You know what I mean? So that works for me. So I take a lot of people from that line would clearly say that Batman Who Laughs is their favorite one. So is he your favorite still, or?
No, I mean he's probably 3rd or 4th.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the Red Death is probably my favorite right now, and then probably the Drowned.
The Drowned is nice. I've never seen it in person, but from pictures, I've always thought it was a great piece. So do you favor 1/3 more or quarter scale? Just like if those were quarter scale, would you mind? Or
I really don't think I have a preference towards scale. I mean, if these statues were made and it was still these as quarter scale instead of 1/3 at the time, I probably still would have got them. That's why if PCS is doing a 1/3 and 1/4 Candyman, he's probably going to go on the top with Hellraiser stuff. So I'm probably going to get the quarter.
Okay. Are you interested in it? Like in I guess you say you're not a Ghostface fan, and so you're not gonna get the Michael Myers or the Leatherface or none of those people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got you. I'm
really out of room right now and I have
right,
and I have that big ass Devastator on order.
Devis, hold up. The one DT has. That's what you talking about.
The Devastator is it's the Dark Knight metal, like that's
Oh,
the
okay. I'm thinking
version
about
of
Transformers
Doom.
Devastator. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean everybody
You
got
mean
excited.
the
Batman Devastator.
the Doomsday one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're saying that thing is over 30 inches deep.
Wow. Well, my theory has always been just order them and figure out where you're gonna put them later on. You know what I mean?
I mean, seeing Barb set up, I'm probably gonna try to do something like that here and have them both like at the desk, him and the Merciless. Just that, I mean, her and her husband did that, like shelving brackets, like for granite countertops. Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to do that here.
Okay.
See where I can put him.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. So, you know, you mentioned your wife and your family. How does she, as far as collecting goes, how does she feel about you? Like in general, like not like sharing it with other people, but like just you collecting. Is she a fan or she doesn't really
she's not into collecting. She's like a voice of reason, I think, where she'll like if I'm second guessing a piece, she can usually I can find reason with her to talk myself out of it. Right. But I mean she's not really a fan of the amount of money I spend.
Well, I mean I get that. You know. But like
so she's never held me she's never held me back. But it's not something that she shares the passion for.
Right. But I mean, so like there's never been a piece come in where she was like, wow, that's pretty cool. You know.
Yeah, I mean she loves the Merciless.
Okay.
She likes the Drowned, and then I got her that Tweeterhead Catwoman for Christmas, and she's excited for it, but you know, it's not like us.
Right, yeah. Like not waiting by the door for the UPS to show up.
Yeah, I had it snuck in. Like that came from Sideshow, and my Grim Knight came from Spec Fiction, and they both came the same day.
I did that one time when I would because I recently separated or whatever. But one time this Darth Malik, I got it and I got it and I snuck it in through the back door, and while she was still sleeping, took it down to the basement, and she never knew. So sometimes people, that's what you got to do. You got to sneak them in the house.
I called out of work that day so I could be there.
You got to, man. I just wonder what some of these people do with these pallets or these life-size statues.
I mean, yeah, seeing Dr. Mike. I mean, that's crazy. All them freight packages.
It's no way. Like, yeah, I remember Junior was like, "Yeah, I'm about to start getting the life size." I was like, "Junior, you are crazy, man." Like, what about when you move and then like you can't really, I mean, I guess you could sell them if somebody comes and gets them, but it's like you can't really sell that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you can, but you're looking at taking a huge loss.
For real. So are these the only lines that you think of collecting, or is there anything else that you had seen that like if you had the space?
If I had space, I wouldn't have Justice League Hot Toys. I probably would have that whole Prime 1 line that just finished with Darkseid and Steppenwolf. It'd be nice to have that whole line. But yeah, I mean,
I didn't even notice the Hot Toys. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, most of the movie pieces are the Hot Toys that I have.
Do you have any XM pieces or no?
No, and I've never seen one in person.
Okay, because I was going to ask you. I mean, like, do you favor Prime 1 more, or like a Sideshow, or?
Well, I mean, I have 7 Prime 1s right now, and I probably would say they've license wise they've been the most impressive to me. I have 3 Sideshow. I mean, the most underwhelming is probably it's a Hollywood Collectibles group.
What piece is that? Like
the Pinhead bust.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still trying to as far as busts go. Is one, that the Vader one, that with the mask is cracked. That's probably gonna be my first one. Is that the only bust you own, or you?
Yes, that's it.
You don't plan on getting no more.
Well, I mean, I think it's fitting a centerpiece for the Hellraiser show, and I mean they're space killers. I mean, once you get a bunch of them,
because I've heard. I know Ark says he they kind of, but what he does, he puts one with the premium format or whatever, and he just kind of spaces them out. But what was I gonna say? So as damn, I lost my train of thought. So as time goes on, is like you just have, that's the only thing you got on pre-order, or
well, I have a couple Hot Toys from the Flash, and then that Devastator, and then as soon as it's up for pre-order, the Murder Machine that would finish the line out for them.
Okay. I'm surprised that you never got into. I mean, I don't know if you got into it too late or not. That you never got into like Court of the Dead.
I've definitely seen a few of them. It's it's never grabbed me.
Yeah, it's because we had the Kraken on, and he reviews them a lot, and I know Rodney's a fan. But some of that stuff kind of some of those dudes kind of look like what's the guy the big dude, he kind of reminds you of the Devastator. I forgot his name escapes. He kind of reminds you of a Cenobite, but he looks more kind of like Solomon Grundy a little bit, But yeah, I'm surprised that you're not into. I don't even think they make them anymore. To be honest with you, because I guess they tighten it up on everything. So moving on, how do you view the community as far as the collecting community? Like
how do I view it?
Like has it been helpful or
it's definitely been helpful. I mean, the Batman Damned, I got definitely. I made a video with the wife, and she had like a Q&A where she would ask questions about the collection. And then she asked me, was there a few statues you would get now, or you wish you could go back and get that you missed out on because of her and the money?
Wow!
And I named the Arkham Batman Beyond by Prime One, and then the Damned.
That's a nice one.
The Damned has the skull, and I mean it definitely goes with everything I have. And like the next day, I started getting tagged and all these for sale posts for it for the Damned.
Yeah, a lot of people in the community good for that. Like they know you're looking for something. You ain't always ready to buy it, but they will tag you. I mean, you can't find it.
I was like Arch. I mean, I put it on a credit card.
Yeah, I mean, so that's so like. Well, I guess what I mean is like, so you haven't, because some people, talk about the community, and sometimes it's like people get arguing about the edition size or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you never had that kind of like any bad, like I'm glad that you haven't. If you haven't, because some people
bad experiences.
Yeah, in the community, like far as
no,
that's good.
Nothing bad. No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really on that subject. I mean, I don't really care about the edition size. I mean, I'm gonna get it. If I like it anyway.
I agree. And so you don't have any like the Superman, like dark metal at all, or no?
No, I mean, if I had space, the regular metal that I guess Mr. X just reviewed, them standing on the skulls.
Right. Him. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I like that one. I mean, I would prefer the new black variant, but I would like to have him, but I don't have room.
Okay, so like, do you own any like regular Batman pieces, or are they all the death metal, dark metal? I mean,
well, I mean, I got 2 Batflicks, and then I got that Q Figs statue, the Bat Family, where he's holding all the little babies.
Oh yeah, that's a nice statue. I like that one.
Yeah.
So who is movie wise? Is he your favorite? Because he's my favorite Batman.
Batfleck, yes.
Yeah. Good. You know, because it was good at the time, but you know, I still don't understand why people think Keaton. I mean, I still ain't seen this Flash. You know, everybody's sweating. You know, but I just never understood why people thought Keaton was the best. You know, I never got it.
I mean, Keaton was very. I liked Keaton probably the best in the Flash, but and I was probably very because I've been watching like Mallrats and just all this other cheesy stuff with Ben Affleck. So I was very opinionated about being against it, but then once you see it, and we've seen it now, I mean, yeah, he's definitely my favorite. I wish he got his own movie, like his own movie instead of all these other team up stuff.
Yeah, and I think another shame is you never, besides that first Suicide Squad, you never really saw him in the end of the Snyder cut of Justice League. You never really saw him and the Joker interact, really. You know what I mean? So to me, it was kind of a waste. Even though a lot of people are not a fan of Leto Joker, you know,
he's the best Batman, but that's probably the worst Joker.
Yeah. I ain't a huge fan of Leto, but yeah, I think he's the best Batman. And I keep telling people, like, and I was just, as a matter of fact, you know, I know, you know, people gonna see this after we film. I was just on with Saab Assembly, and they unboxed all these art prints, and we were talking about, you know, what are your favorite? And I told them, I said, if you look at all of them and you look at the comic books, he looked the most like Batman. I was like, because these other guys look like they made some suits up for a movie. But they don't really, if you think of it, they don't really look like Batman. You know what I mean? And my problem always with Bale was that the voice is you and good. And oh my God, I was like, man, every time he talked, I was like, God, please.
That's probably my least favorite Batman. That's Bale.
I like him more than like you know, the what is it, like Kilmer and all them. But
well, yeah, I haven't seen those movies in a couple, probably 10 years. But yeah,
it's just his voice. When he does that voice, like at least with Affleck, it's a voice changer. So it's like, you know, that's you know, it ain't. I was like, dude, please stop talking. You know,
I've always found those movies too realistic.
And I think that's why the people that do like, I think that's why they like them, is because they're realistic. You know.
Besides the Joker, though, I feel every villain in a Nolan movie wasn't really a good villain at all.
Right. Yeah. Bane, I thought Bane was funny. Like Bane had me cracking up. You know, just the voice alone was hilarious.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. But I mean, it's comical.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I get, you know, they tried to make it real, so there wasn't any venom or none of that stuff. But to me, he, even though he bulked up, he's kind of small to be playing Bane. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was like, yeah. But I mean, I think he the voice kind of, you know, throws you off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a drastic opposite of like every other Bane you've ever heard.
Right. So what did you think about this newest the Batman?
The Flash?
No, the
Pattinson.
Pattinson, yeah,
I liked it, and I mean, I feel like he gets a bad rep from the start just because stupid Twilight,
yeah.
Which I've probably seen all those in theaters too with the wife, but I enjoyed it. I mean, I definitely waited till it was on streaming, and I've seen it one time, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've seen one Twilight movie, and it was because for some reason I thought I was missing something. You know what I mean? And so I went with my ex-wife and her sister, and I'm sitting there, and it's like a group of teenage girls all the way in the back. And every time this werewolf dude came on, they're screaming and hollering. And this guy takes his shirt off, and then just everybody I'm like, good God, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I'm glad. Okay, I don't need to see this no more. You know. But as far as the Batman goes, I mean, I did enjoy it. some of the things in there I'm surprised I didn't think of, like with that scene where he gave Catwoman those contacts or whatever, and she goes in and he's, I'm like, okay, that's pretty slick, But I wasn't a big fan of his outfit, even I know it's like year one or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think they'll change it.
I hope so, but again, to this day, I've said a few times, my favorite part of that was the Penguin.
Yeah, I was gonna say he stole the show.
I was like, dude, and just before, forget the performance was great, but like, I still to this day can't believe that's him. Like every time I was like, God, like it don't even like it doesn't. He doesn't. He got rid of the accent, everything, and the Batmobile was cool. I thought, what's your favorite Batmobile, like far as the movies go, or shows or any of that stuff?
God, probably the Tumbler.
Yeah, a lot of people like. I mean, I know it's hokey. I like the '66 one. That's always my favorite, and I've actually is a guy that makes them.
Yeah, there's somebody, because I mean, there's definitely a rich neighborhood I work with the AC stuff, and somebody has one here.
I wanted that, so even though I'm a Star Wars guy, but like I've always loved that car, and the people that make them, it's like the paint job just looks like glass. It's and I actually saw these guys driving one time, like, and I was like, man, I would love to have that. They got the red, all the stuff is in there, the red phone and the antenna and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I want that Hell Priestess piece, it wasn't until recently I realized, like I looked at, I'm like, man, her legs are like peeled back. Like I never and so that, I mean, that's a sick piece, but I was like, man, that's a gory piece, you know what I mean?
Well, it reminds me, it's Hellraiser 3, and like one of the characters' name is Terry, and it's I think her hands are the same way in that movie, where at the end when she's a Cenobite.
Oh, so she's actually in the movie. I always thought that was something.
It's not the Hell Priestess, but it's the same kind of effect on her arms where her skin is peeled back.
Right. Yeah, I always. Okay, yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I never knew she was a real.
No, I mean there was no female Pinhead until this last one.
Oh wow. Okay, so okay, I got you. Now what did you think? I know you probably wouldn't get. What do you think of like these purgatory pieces that like Sideshow makes and the Lady Death and like those? What do you think about those?
Is Purgatory the red one?
She's the red one.
I considered it briefly. I mean, I think it looked pretty cool up there with them.
Yeah, but
I'm just I'm in space and then justifying a piece like that to the wife.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Because just last night, I'm sure you watched the show. We were looking at that the Twi'lek, on the stripper pole. So, with unlimited funds, like I say, is there like a dream piece that you would like to own? That.
I mean, I like to see somebody. I mean, I know I just said I probably wouldn't buy a bus, but a Batman Who Laughs bus would be pretty cool.
I want to say I thought I saw a custom group making one at one point. I don't know much about him.
Was it life size or was it like a smaller?
I can't remember. It might have been life size. It might have been a while. I mean, you see so many pieces.
Yeah, maybe so many groups.
Yeah, that too. So, okay, here's one. Out of the box, because like you got some killer pieces. What was like the most wow factor coming out of the box? Like, which piece?
It's probably the Merciless, because he was my second 1/3, and just the. I mean, I know you do all the measurements and you see you watch a ton of videos, especially when it's shipped. But just this, the sheer size of it, unboxing that thing, it was it's pretty crazy. It's definitely my tallest piece. But yeah, and he's right here on the desk. That's because he doesn't fit on there.
Wow, not even on there, because you got the like the garage shelf kind of
I
thing?
mean, I could definitely drop that shelf, but I feel like I got quarter scale turtles and those hot toys, and it would just scrunch it.
Oh, wow, I know you had turtles too.
Yeah, the Nika.
PCS? Oh, Mika, okay.
Nika, yeah, the quarter scale Nika turtles.
So in game, like is there an in game plan or have you thought about exit strategy?
Well, I mean, in game as far as I know we probably all have many stopping points.
Right, yeah.
But it's probably finishing this line. And I mean, I know I want to get that Candyman if it when it comes out, but well, we'd have to see. That's probably where I'm going to stop for now. But I know I don't know what James Gunn is about to do with DC. Right. Being that he's doing the Brave and the Bold, I hope it's going to eventually, like 10 years, start with Batman lead to Batman Who Laughs.
Right. So you don't mind, because a thing I've always had is for me anyway, I'm not a big fan of Star Wars is a movie, that's what it is, but I've never been a fan of having comic book characters as the actor. I don't know, it's just been a quirk of mine. So that don't. I mean, clearly that don't bother you because you got the Affleck Batman and everything.
Well, I mean, they're hot toys. I mean,
oh, okay. Well, hot toys, yeah, that's what.
I mean, they look more like the actor than I think than the statues.
I agree.
So I think being in a limited space, I think that's probably what I'll do. Is if a movie piece I like, it's probably going to be hot toys, just to save space. Right. But these comic pieces, I mean, that's it's comic, and that's more forgiving, I think, with artist interpretation.
Right. Yeah. So are you big on the MCU or no?
I mean, I watch everything, and I used to have a ton of Marvel hot toys, but I sold everything to fund Batman Who Laughs and the Merciless at the time.
So, so do you still you watch the new stuff or?
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm away from the crowd. I haven't really seen anything recently. I didn't like. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. It's just current. After Thanos was gone, it kind of ended for me. You know what I mean? This new stuff is kind of just.
It's clearly a drop off in quality, but I don't know. I kind of liked the Ant-Man. I mean, to me, it actually, especially when they're in the quantum, whatever it's called, it feels like a Star Wars type of environment, like where they're at the bar with Bill Murray and all those crazy looking characters.
Yeah, I haven't watched. That's been on Disney Plus for a month now, and that still ain't. I'm trying to work up the nerd, not the nerd, but the want to, because I did Doctor Strange, with the second one, the Multiverse of Madness or whatever. I thought that was cool. I like Spider-Man, when all the Dr. Octopus and all them came out. I thought that was cool. I watched the Winter Soldier show. I liked it. It wasn't great, but I liked it. I didn't care about Loki. Didn't care about WandaVision. I don't know. It's just my thing is you can't have a whole roster of B team people. I mean, you got Spider-Man in there, Iron Man's gone, Cap is different, and I don't know, man. It's just you just can't have. You got to have some A-listers in there somewhere. My Thor, who know what's going on with him? You know what I'm saying? All this love and thunder, and I wanted to see that because I wanted to see Bale. But it's just every time I see I'm like this thing looks stupid.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
The second time I saw that, it was definitely better. But just the most cringy scene to me in that Thor Love and Thunder was the beginning, the way he was interacting with the god, and
I saw that on YouTube.
Well, that whole interaction was a little, I don't know, made for TV to me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, and again, another thing is with this new stuff, in the MCU, like the Infinity Saga, you can see a direction, like you can see it's all leading toward Thanos, and everything kind of had like with this stuff. It's like the few I've watched, I'm like, okay, so how does this contribute? Like, how does it? What do you get from Love and Thunder? You know what I'm saying? It's like
nothing.
it's crazy. So
it's
it's
kind of like what King was saying. Was it last night where that phase was about an agenda, and they were just trying to find. Like I think the Ant-Man movie is pointing to King, and I hope he comes back as King.
Yeah,
because I liked him, but I think that's kind of where they're going now. We're playing.
I heard this the guy that plays Namor, he in trouble too. I think. I think they done caught him doing something. He had to put some kind of post up. Did you see that movie or no?
Yeah.
What'd you think about that? Like post what do you call it? Chadwick Boseman passing and everything. Like, cause I was team recast. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, he passed away. That's he just passed away. What are you gonna do? But they kind of ripped that into the story. And
I think it would have been a good opportunity to recast, especially with all this multiverse crap going on.
Bingo, yeah.
But the way they did, like with this child at the end, I mean, hopefully his child becomes Black Panther.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. Then we gotta wait for him to grow up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Okay, like I always did. Rodney say, man, if it's a multiverse, just bring one from another. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's just with that stuff, man. I'm not like, I didn't see Guardians 3. I didn't like Guardians 2. Guardians 1 was great, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's the MCU is just.
So you haven't seen 2?
I saw 2, but I didn't like 2. I loved 1, but I didn't see 3 because I didn't like 2.
Well, I like 2, but it's definitely probably the most hard to rewatch.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it just they didn't match up. Like, I'm like, they fighting this celestial being. Come on, y'all. The part with Yondu and Rocket getting free out, that was cool. I think that was like my favorite. But like, what did you think of this newest one? Because
it's probably my favorite of the 3. I mean,
really,
it's definitely pretty sad. I mean, and Arch saying last night, fuck the animals. Yeah. I mean,
I know.
If you don't watch that movie and get that close or actually cry, you got no soul.
Yeah, I would definitely, because I'm a big animal, love dogs and everything, and I don't know, I might steer clear of that stuff. And it's funny that I'm actually gonna go to the theater, because like nowadays I usually wait for stuff to come out on streaming. So, but the Flash movie, it piqued my interest, especially. I think it was, they showed Keaton, and he's flying, and I was like, wow, this, Plus, I love Michael Shannon as General Zod. Even though I don't think he's in it long, but
and like I was saying about Supergirl, I mean, he's what you see of Zod is mostly in the trailers.
That's crazy. So I'm thinking, like, what is this? I mean, I don't want to know because I want to see it. But what did you think about the Man of Steel?
Well, honestly, I really wasn't a big Superman fan until that movie, and the only reason I watched it is because Henry Cavill was in Hellraiser 8.
Was he really? 8? God, how many Hellraisers?
There's 11 now with that new one last year.
Wow. God,
but he was in Hellraiser 8 or Hellraiser Hellworld. So right. I knew Henry Cavill from that. So he wasn't like a complete unknown to me. And then I don't know if you watch Guy Ritchie movies.
What do you call it? Snatch. I love Snatch.
Well, Snatch he was also in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. that Guy Ritchie did.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I wanted to see it. I didn't know that was a Guy Ritchie movie.
But that's the only reason I actually, watched it. Plus, I mean, it had Nolan's name on it too. So I saw him.
and didn't know it was him. Like he was in Immortals. He was the main character in Immortals, and I never knew. And then years later, Elba, she said, "You know that was him." I was like, "He was in Immortals." Like, yeah, that was him. I was like, "Oh wow." So I didn't know, that was Cavill, and until somebody told me. But yeah, that I was a big fan of that movie, and it's a shame. It was really the DC universe didn't get, because that was a great, in my opinion, a great start. And then they tried to rush Batman and everything. I actually like the extended cut of Batman because to me, more stuff made a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I mean, you actually
in my opinion,
Steppenwolf at the end,
right? No, I mean, I ain't talking about. I'm talking about Batman versus Superman. They had an extended version of that. Was he at the end of Batman versus Superman? Yeah, he sure was. He sure was. Yeah,
with Lex Luthor and the
yeah, he sure was.
Cool. Yeah, that's why it didn't make sense to me to have whatever the hell Joss Whedon delivered.
Right. Something else that always bothered me. Gotham and Metropolis was like right across. I'm like, wait a minute. Like Gotham was right over the. Yeah, I always thought that was stupid. You know what I'm saying?
In this newest Flash too, I think. God, what city Flash is from? I can't remember.
He's Star City, I think it is.
It's pretty close to Gotham too.
Are you serious? Because I thought Gotham is supposed to be New York, and Metropolis is supposed to be like Midwest, like Chicago or something like that. So it's like I don't know why they did that.
Central City. Is
it Central City? Somebody from Star City might be Green Arrow. I ain't a big DC y'all. So
I mean, he's the Flash, so he runs to Gotham in the beginning. But I mean, it seems like it's pretty close.
Right, that's possible. So it's we getting short on time. Anything? You want to let folks know about your channel or how to find you or?
Sure, it's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. It's just Gotham Cenobites.
Right. And is it just like sharing your collection, or you actually doing reviews? Or
I review whatever I have coming in. Like I don't buy stuff to review it to sell it. Just whatever I have personally coming in, I'll put a review video up.
Right.
And then I'm probably going to do a Flash review, and then I'm hoping once we get closer to Halloween, like I did last year for Hellraiser, reviewing movies with the wife. I'm trying to hope we can do that with Saw, because I know there's another Saw movie coming out this year.
Really? Mm-hmm. Rodney couldn't stand that the one with Chris Rock.
I probably until last year I knew it was Spiral. I knew of the movie, but I didn't know it connected to Jigsaw. So I haven't seen it, but we're gonna watch all of them and review them.
Right. Well, that's good. That's cool that that you all actually do the reviews together and put them on the channel.
Mm. Oh, that's right now I have a few recent movie discussions where it's just me, but then the Hellraiser reviews were me and her last year. And it's all 11 of them.
I had no idea there was so many Hellraisers. Okay, so final question. Many collectors don't enjoy the same type of relationship with their wives that you do as far as here's your chance to give her praise and offer other collectors the same advice.
Well, I mean, like I said, I mean she never holds me back, and I often lean on her. Like if there's something that I want, but I probably don't need or shouldn't have, I lean on her to kind of talk me out of stuff. But she's great as far as wanting to participate, and she films all of all these Prime ones I have. She's filmed the unbox them, so she's definitely helps me.
Oh, that's good. All right. So, is there any advice you would give to other collectors, far as getting the spouse involved, or just?
I always say, be honest. Don't hide anything, and it's just a respect thing, I guess. You know, I wouldn't want to lie to her and try to sneak shit in.
I did one time. So
Well, believe it or not, this is my master bedroom.
Oh wow!
So
seriously,
yeah, we bought a house, and then we got pregnant like the next week. So the whole upstairs is the master, and I had intended on having one of the rooms downstairs be the collection room, but then we got pregnant again, so we have 2 kids. So my stuff was packed up for 3 or 4 years. So she's like, just because she had her desk was here, like her vanity and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
She's like, just take this wall and get your stuff out.
Well, she deserves to be commended for that to allow you to put this. I swear to God, because I can't think of many women that would do that. You know what I mean? So, hey, when you watching this, I give you God bless you, sister. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyhow, y'all, we appreciate you coming on, man, and appreciate hearing all about you. And so we're gonna sign. No, go ahead.
I appreciate you having me. I'm stoked for the invite.
Oh man, thanks. Anytime, man. And appreciate you watching Open Mic. And
of course.
So we will catch y'all next time on Just Asking for a Friend. Catch y'all later, everybody. Later.